पैनल डिस्कशन है हमारी, उसमें हमारे साथ सैयद साद हैदर जो हेड ऑफ इंटरनल ऑडिट है फ्रॉम सादापे पाकिस्तान, उनके साथ हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे पैनल डिस्कशन में मिस्टर असद इकबाल हु इज वर्किंग एज हेड ऑफ आईटी गवर्नेंस एट HBFC. Thank you very much to all of you for joining this session. Saad Saab, you welcome you. Hi Saad, how are you today?
I'm good. Okay.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for joining us. It's very good that you have joined and you are here to speak on cybersecurity specifically. Saad, please introduce yourself to the students and we'll move forward.
Okay. I am Saad. I'm heading Sadapay, the largest EMI in Pakistan. And I'm head of audit over here, looking after the cybersecurity, ITIS audit, and operation audit as well. I have more than 12 to 14 years experience in internal audit of different banks, commercial banks and EMIs as well.
Actually, I have few questions to ask you and I would like you to please give your feedback and so that the attendees of this session should learn from your thoughts and your perspective. First of all, since you are from FinTech, I would like to request you to please let us know if FinTech companies handle highly sensitive financial data. What are the key cybersecurity risks you face in Pakistan's digital banking landscape?
FinTech and digital banking in Pakistan is growing rapidly, as we say, and they are just becoming a mainstream. As I mentioned, Sadapay has more than 2 million customers onboarded, and they have 700K customers who are active on 30 days transaction base. So where we are coming in the mainstream, however, this also increases the cybersecurity risk as we deal with highly sensitive financial data. So the major risk that we face in this would be phishing and social engineering. In Pakistan, as people are not as much educated, we are lacking behind. So the major risk that we used to face, most of the fintechs that I work in, Sadapay, Digit Plus, and Telenor, it was the device takeover. When people used to call us, call any customer, and they used to impersonate themselves as talking from some law enforcement agencies, and they used to generate some codes over there, and customers used to give their TPIN, and the account was taken over. Then he used to perform transactions. So that was the main risk that you can say a year ago that fintechs and digital banks used to face, and most of the banks and the fintechs has done very good on it. And by putting a simple control, just automatically, TPIN cannot be entered manually now, and it is sent to customer in an encrypted manner. Even if someone is impersonating as talking from law enforcement agencies, and customer is giving him XYA BBCDEFGHIJKL, so the customer takeover fraud is minimized. As well as when I joined Digit Plus, we used to see customer logging from rooted devices and things like this. A major cybersecurity risk over there. And at that time, I remember that if we were not able to make payments to companies who are offshore in that time, and there were no controls over here. But as of now, the controls are here. Then we also face a risk for employee misusing the customer data. As of now, most companies allow employees to work from home. At that time, cybersecurity and information security plays a vital role over there. If you have your EDR over there, you can have all the logs for the customers and employees, if the data is being leaked or not. And especially, access control management, that is role-based. I guess role-based, users creation is highly recommended, so that person can only see if he is entitled to, that information or not. And talking specifically about fintechs, and fintechs are dealing with third party. And, when we're talking about third party for payment process, they use MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, Union Pay, XYZ companies. So over there, the integration is done by our, APIs. And as of now in Pakistan, there is no regulations for secure API integration. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So the major risk is there, if we don't have, we are not educating people how to work. So in that way, you're training, for 20,000 or one, the people who are in the university and having a training from you, I think it's very good for them, getting to know what international practices are in regard of trainings and everything. And I remember before State Bank did not allow us to use cloud service providers. We cannot have service from offshore service provider just like AWS and etc. But now that has been changed, and for a fintech can have CSP providers, who have offshore based outside Pakistan. So that is good. And the challenge that we face is like, I won't be taking name, but we need customer authentication. And that company is a government company and we all use it. And we cannot store their logs. That is a big challenge for us. Like a fintech, a fintech cannot store the logs of user being authenticated from XYZ company. That is for us, it's there. So this creates a lot of issues for us once the audit comes and customer comes to us and the fraud has been happened to him. So in that way, we don't have the logs. So these are the challenges that we face. To counter this, as I told you that most of the EMIs are, what they are doing is zero trust security. They are following zero trust security. They will bind your account to a single mobile device. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. You have rightly explained, and unfortunately, that is exactly the situation we are facing right now in Pakistan. But the good news is things are happening, things are moving forward. Since you are industry leader yourself, you're sitting in the market, you have a better perspective to get a exact picture what exactly is happening. So my second question, exactly basing on the same criteria, regulatory compliance. How do cybersecurity regulations in Pakistan impact the fintech industry? Are there areas where compliance requirements should be improved?
Yeah. Fintech. Okay, if you're talking about fintechs, there are very few fintechs who are regulated by state bank. Okay, so if you get regulated by state bank, you can make payments to offshore vendors. But a fintech, the major thing that we lack and we face, so many problems. We are an EMI. In my last company, we were in EMI, and we has to make the payment of AWS. I still remember that we were not able to make payment for 1.5 months. So there has improvement room for improvement is there, a big room for improvement.
Indeed.
Just I talked before, there is no rule for Nadra, like we have to integrate with Nadra for every single transaction, okay? And we connect them through API. And there is no guidelines how API should be designed, how the security WAF should be used or not. There is nothing. Okay, you have to integrate with them. That's it. So guidelines, regarding API should be there. What I feel like the major thing that as of now, we're talking about cybersecurity. One thing that should be done by the, regulators is that, most of the regulations are focused on institutional security rather than customer compensation mechanism who has been fraudulently dealt by any customer or any person. So that thing should be there because it is a very lengthy process from Visa and MasterCard to get the money back if someone, people,
Indeed. So what I feel from what you explained, Saad, is that there is a gap in the system itself in the country at the country level. Because of no framework is there.
Yeah.
So hope it's soon it's going to be in Pakistan market.
Yes.
Which organizations will be following the way in Saudi, in UAE market, in European states, and as well as Americas. Frameworks are there to be followed. Regulatory bodies are there to enforce those frameworks. I believe that Mr. Asad Iqbal, head of IT governance, HBFC, has joined us.
Assalamualaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Asad, how are you?
I'm fine.
Asad, thank you very much for joining us. I'm having with me right now Syed Saad Haider. He's the head of internal audit, Sadapay.
Hey.
And Asad, it's wonderful having you, and definitely I would like to hear from you as well. So let me ask you a question. Since you are head of IT governance at HBFC, how do you balance the need for strict cybersecurity measures with ensuring operational efficiency in financial institutions?
It's really a very important question that is always in debate amongst cybersecurity function or information security functions and the business functions. Problem occur hota hai once business function is more focused on their business objectives and they think that cybersecurity make them operationally inefficient. तो ये सबसे बड़ा एक चैलेंज होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के बीच में, और ये एक बोर्ड के सामने भी चैलेंज होता है एंड मैनेजमेंट के सामने भी, कि हाउ टू बैलेंस द सिक्योरिटी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, द सिक्योरिटी processes, practices and controls, and to ensure the operational efficiency and excellence. और सबसे पहला जो चैलेंज होता है वो उस माइंड सेट को ब्रेक करना होता है, कि वो जो माइंड सेट अगर कहीं डेवलप हो जाए किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, ये सिक्योरिटी कंट्रोल्स आर इम्पैक्टिंग देयर ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी। तो ये एक बड़ा चैलेंज होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर, और इसको हम कहते हैं कि ये कल्चरल बैरियर भी होता है। आपको कल्चरली हैव टू डेवलप दैट द सिक्योरिटी इज द नीड ऑफ द टाइम एंड द नीड ऑफ द डे, इट डज नॉट इम्पैक्ट योर ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी।
Exactly, very rightly explained,
Yeah,
Asad.
I
Or
will add some experiences here. I think the students can learn from the practical knowledge that we are trying to engage the business functions and the cybersecurity function to same page. तो उसमें जो बेटर अप्रोच होती है या जो चैलेंज बनता है कि वंस द सिक्योरिटी फंक्शन इज वर्किंग इन अ सैलो, दे डज नॉट इंगेज विद द बिजनेस फंक्शंस। तो फर्स्ट एंड मोर रोबस्ट प्रैक्टिस जिसकी नीड होती है वो होता है कि आप अपने जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी की या इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं उनको अलाइन करें विद द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द बिजनेस। Once the both objectives are aligned better and well communicated, then further balance can be created and crafted. तो ये फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है और चैलेंज होता है जो आपको ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर क्रिएट करना होता है। तो ये क्रिएट कैसे हो सकता है, हाउ वी कैन ब्रिंग बोथ फंक्शंस ऑन अ सेम पेज। तो इसमें हमें हेल्प करती हैं दो चीजें। वन इज द रेगुलेटर और योर स्टेट रेगुलेशंस एंड डायरेक्टिव्स, and the other is the industry practices like ISO 27001, जो कि एक बड़ा अच्छा इनिशिएटिव था आपका CSR का, और इसकी नीड है पाकिस्तान में। और इसी तरह स्टेट बैंक ऑफ पाकिस्तान का जो इंटरप्राइज टेक्नोलॉजी गवर्नेंस फ्रेमवर्क है, क्लाउड प्रैक्टिसेस के ऊपर फ्रेमवर्क है, PTA के फ्रेमवर्क्स हैं। तो जब आप किसी फ्रेमवर्क को या किसी स्टैंडर्ड की बेस पे कम्युनिकेशन एंगेज करते हैं अमंग द फंक्शंस, तो इट क्रिएट बैलेंस। और उसकी नीड होती है जब वो इंडस्ट्री प्रैक्टिसेस को देखते हैं, उसकी केस स्टडीज को देखते हैं, तो देन दे रियलाइज दैट ये हमारे ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी को इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगी, बल्कि इट विल ऐड वैल्यू टू आवर ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी। तो हमारी जो बेटर एक अप्रोच रही है वो वेल कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड द रेगुलेशन ऑफ स्टेट एंड रेगुलेटर, ये हमें जो एक पेज पर ले आती है, और देन फर्दर बैलेंस क्रिएट हो सकता है।
very well explained, Asad. I was discussing earlier with Saad as well.
Sure.
There is a huge room of improvement in regulatory sector of the government of Pakistan. The regulator, the framework is not there, and there are huge gaps in the system on which we believe that government sectors are working on aggressively, because they do understand the importance of it and how rapidly cybersecurity is being adopted all around the globe. As you mentioned, it is a necessity, it is not a luxury anymore. And obviously, conveying this or convincing management how important for them to understand and implement and embrace cybersecurity as quickly as possible is crucial. My second question, Asad, with you is, what steps should Pakistani banks take to improve cyber resilience against ransomware attacks and data breaches?
ये एक दैट इज अ menace फॉर द फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री ऑफ पाकिस्तान। Many banks, or I think things are not populated and published on the media, but as I think and I seen, each and every bank has disrupted their services due to some data breaches or the cyber attacks, and some banks have also faced the ransomware attacks. ये एक कहते हैं ना कि एक ऐसा खौफनाक ख्वाब है उनके लिए, पाकिस्तानी बैंक्स के लिए। और आई थिंक एक बैंक जो है 72 आवर्स के लिए आउट ऑफ सर्विस रहा रैंसमवेयर अटैक की वजह से। सिमिलरली एक पाकिस्तानी वेल नोन कंपनी, आई विल नॉट मेंशन देयर नेम, उनके ऊपर रैंसमवेयर अटैक हुआ, और पाकिस्तानी बैंक्स को सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रही है। तो दे नॉट ओनली बेयर द फाइनेंशियल इम्पैक्ट, but there was a huge reputational risk and the impact they have faced. जो कुछ एडवांसमेंट हमें नज़र आ रही हैं यहाँ पे, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो रेगुलेटरी साइड पे जो एडवांसमेंट स्टार्ट की हैं स्टेट बैंक ऑफ पाकिस्तान ने, कि पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री में फर्स्ट टाइम एक रेगुलेटर के एंड पे साइबर सिक्योरिटी का डिवीज़न जो है वो इनकॉर्पोरेट हुआ है रिसेंटली इन द एंड ऑफ 2024. So it seems that state of Pakistan and the regulator of Pakistan for financial industry, they are focusing to robust the cyber security arrangements and to improve the security posture of Pakistani financial industry. तो फर्स्ट एंड मोर फोर्स तो ये है कि जो अब आपने बात की कि फ्रेमवर्क एंड द जो रेगुलेशंस हैं अप टू द मार्क होनी चाहिए, जो आज की इंडस्ट्री नीड्स को पूरा करें. मैं इसमें एक हाईली एक चीज़ मेंशन करूंगा फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री के लिए, कि एक वक्त था कि स्टेट बैंक ऑफ पाकिस्तान वाज ओनली मेंशनिंग पीसीआई डीएसएस एज अ गुड टू हैव प्रैक्टिस. देन दे हैव मार्क्ड इट मस्ट टू हैव प्रैक्टिस. And recently in their framework, they are mentioning the ISO 27001 standard as a good to have. But it seems that it will be a must to have in future, because it is the one and foremost popular framework to enhance the cyber governance. तो
Exactly.
पाकिस्तानी बैंक्स के लिए जो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है, जहां उन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी गवर्नेंस को फोकस किया है, वहां दे हैव टू प्रॉपर्ली डेवलप द साइबर गवर्नेंस. और साइबर गवर्नेंस इंश्योर करती है द सिक्योरिटी पोस्चर. पहला चैलेंज उनके लिए ये है, और मेरी तरफ से डायरेक्शन यही रहेगी, जो हमारे एक्सपीरियंस है टुवर्ड द इंडस्ट्री, कि दे हैव टू डेवलप अ प्रॉपर साइबर गवर्नेंस फंक्शंस, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द फॉर्मेलिटी ऑफ कंप्लाइंस to fulfill the regulatory inspections, but they have to make and arrange these things for assurance of cyber security. And second is the best industry practices. ये एक रेजिस्टेंस रही है बैंक्स के अंदर, जिसकी वजह से हम फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री के अंदर सिक्योरिटी एस्पेक्ट से काफ़ी पीछे रहे, कि दे मोर फोकस ऑन देयर बिजनेस. और एक लंबे अरसे तक आईटी फंक्शंस को भी जो है ना वो कॉस्ट फंक्शन डिक्लेयर किया जाता रहा. और देन जब आईटी फंक्शन ने अपनी एक अपॉर्चुनिटी क्रिएट की, तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी फंक्शन को कॉस्ट सेंटर कंसिडर किया जाता रहा. लेकिन अब दे आर रियलाइजिंग दैट दीज आर नॉट द कॉस्ट फंक्शन, दीज आर द फंक्शन दैट एडिंग अ बिगर वैल्यू टू देयर बिजनेस. Bigger value, how they will add once they will be function on some standard. और इंडस्ट्री का एक वर्किंग होती है कि थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड रिसर्च होती है, एक बिग माइंड्स काम कर रहे होते हैं, बहुत सारी केस स्टडीज होती हैं, उनके बैक पे जो है ना कोई स्टैंडर्ड्स जनरेट होता है. तो रादर देन यू इन्वेंट द व्हील अगेन, जो स्टैंडर्ड्स इस वक्त सोसाइटी में डेवलप हैं, यू हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट दो स्टैंडर्ड्स इन योर बैंक. थर्ड, जिस चीज़ में फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री गैप कर रही है, दे हैव द नॉट प्रॉपर सर्विलेंस एंड मॉनिटरिंग. स्टेट बैंक ऑफ पाकिस्तान मोर फोकसिंग, but they have to improve the SIEM solution for the monitoring. Similarly, other solution for surveillance they have to adopt. The last one, they have to improve air gap backups. रैंसमवेयर का एक जहाँ मॉनिटरिंग और डिटेक्शन इंपॉर्टेंट है, वहाँ उसकी रिकवरी के लिए अगर आपका इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स प्लान भी है, बट यू डू नॉट हैव अ प्रॉपर डाटा बैकअप्स, you cannot respond to that ransomware attack. So they have to improve their backups.
जी बिल्कुल. और ये बहुत जबरदस्त चीज है कि आपने जो मेंशन की है, 27001 is a standard which is usually called father standard as well as parent standard in some terms, from where they usually drive and get drivers to establish their own frameworks on a country level. CSF जो है सामा का, सऊदी अरेबियन मॉनेटरी अथॉरिटी जो है, उसका भी CSF साइबर सिक्योरिटी फ्रेमवर्क जो है, it is based on NIST and as well as ISO 27001. BCM is also based on this 27001 and ISO 22301 as well. तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. और इस पे मतलब हम सब जानते हैं कि साइबर सिक्योरिटी अथॉरिटी बनने जा रही है, and cyber security is going to be mandatory for all the organizations and institutes within 2 years from today. Saad, I'll come to you with the many cybersecurity breaches happen due to user negligence, which Asad has mentioned as well. How can fintech firms like Sadapay educate users on safe digital financial practices? If you please add value to this.
Yeah, rightly said. Most of the user breaches, like system breaches, are from, at users negligence end. And I don't call it a user negligence. I call it entity negligence, because when we onboarded the customer, we are bound to educate him. Okay, once we buy a car or once we buy anything from any market, they provide us a handbook. The representative is there to guide how to use this. So if the customer is being manipulated by some impersonate persons and is ending up being a victim of fraud, so I think that's the entity who is responsible for that fraud. So awareness is very important, and for that, it's very easy and convenient now, and less coy, because as Asad was mentioning, the cost is a major factor for the businesses. So giving an in-app notification or a push notification or a pop-up doesn't cost us anything now. The Sadapay uses it. Then through email, Sadapay send you email. Then social media awareness on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter as well. So these are the area where we give customers often, even in State Bank has directives to have a social awareness campaign twice a year. So Sadapay is following that. They give you push notifications and pop-ups. Then they will give, short security videos on LinkedIn, using infographics. So it's going there. But still, one thing that is missing, and we are planning to do it, that the campaigns should be in different languages. As of now, they are only in English. So major part of the Pakistan does not understand English. Some doesn't understand Urdu. Some only understands Punjabi, Pashto, and Sindhi. So I think just for the sake of complying with regulations, that we are sending an email or push-up notification in English, I think it can be more effective. It's in their regional language. So
yes, absolutely. You're very right. And that is what our CSR initiative is all about, spreading awareness. Because when we started MCS in Pakistan, and we realized with a period of time when we started interacting with organizations and, attending conferences here in Pakistan, we realized that people simply don't understand what cybersecurity is all about. And when I used to meet people in the beginning of our journey, they used to say to me, like if I'm asking them that I need to meet someone from the cybersecurity department, they used to respond to me that someone is there in IT department who is handling this. They simply don't understand the concept of cybersecurity.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
that is exactly what we considered is there is a need, there is a huge gap. And that is when we come to this conclusion that we start CSR initiative, corporate social responsibility, and we started addressing the root cause, which is educating students in the universities, so that while they are passing out from the university, they come into the market, they should be having a clear thought process what cybersecurity is all about. And they should be taking, initiatives, or these students are from cybersecurity. And there is a huge gap, as you both have identified rightly. Saad, you want to say something?
Yeah, Shakeel. I would say that the people, the kids that who are, attending university and, they're getting to know ISO 20001 and they are being awarded a certificate. Trust me, this is going to help them in their interview big way. I conduct interviews and have, I want to name any universities, big universities in Pakistan, and a fresh guy comes for an interview, he doesn't know the international standards. So that is heartbreaking.
Yes, indeed it is.
It is heartbreaking. I must applaud the Air University for conducting this beautiful exercise for the students, I think. And they are the lucky ones who are having this training from a person who has been in cybersecurity for past 20 years, I think. So it's a very good initiative.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. And indeed, it is a very good initiative. A university and before them, NED has taken to educate their students. And obviously, it is the responsibility of the students to actively take part and try to understand what is being provided. You understand that standards, like usually persons get bored,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of theory involved, a lot of discussion is there.
Yes.
So, Asad, I would like to ask you what emerging technologies or strategies should financial institutions adopt to future-proof their cybersecurity frameworks?
Shakeel, I would like to add some statements the Saad was discussing. Today, the user is called a human firewall. The organization, those are investing in their users, their trainings, their awareness. They are very much secured. Mostly, अगर आप, I think, I hope कि आप data share करेंगे या कभी कोई session होता है तो I will share. Mostly breaches happen इस वजह से होते हैं कि your user was not well aware.
Indeed.
In recent organization, financial guy has received that their MD is in Dubai and he is in a trouble and kindly do some transaction in his account. तो अगर आपका यूजर अवेयर नहीं है तो ही कैन बी अ बिगर लॉस फॉर यू. सिमिलरली सोशल इंजीनियरिंग अटैक्स हों, फिशिंग अटैक्स हों, अटैक्स आज एआई का जो दौर है उसमें काफ़ी रोबस्ट हो गए हैं, काफ़ी उनकी पोस्चर चेंज हो गया है. तो यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट इन योर यूजर. योर यूजर शुड बी वेल अवेयर हाउ टू ट्रीट द थिंग्स इन अ प्रॉपर एंड डिसिप्लिन वे. And for your rest of the question, today is the era of artificial intelligence. जहाँ artificial intelligence की help से एक robust जो है वो attacks हो रहे हैं. तो organization have to be ready to respond those attacks in the same way. They have to use AI-driven security tools to detect and monitor the user behaviors, the system behaviors, and their devices behaviors, and to respond accordingly. And second thing is go to implement zero trust, proper least privilege access management हो, real time जो है वो threat detection हो. Similarly जो authentication secure transaction के जो mechanism है वो change हो गए हैं. You have to deploy multi-factor authentication. Most of the organizations still not using multi-factor authentications, biometrics, and similarly blockchain for financial transaction and fraud prevention. And the other thing, mostly organizations are going to move for the cloud solutions. So they have to implement cloud security solutions as well. The endpoint securities are not properly secured. So they have to invest in their endpoint security, extended XDR solutions they have to implement. And the last, ये जो एक mindset है to comply things only to satisfy their regulator. The financial institution have to think beyond that. They comply, but they more focused on to assure the cyber security rather than only fulfilling the compliance. और उसमें भी I think they need to go for the automation for their compliance and work for awareness.
I just want to add one thing, Asad. As of now, a regulated institute, I'm working in an EMI and you are as well. So State Bank has strictly stopped any regulated institution to give critical information, any information onto AI. Okay, so we are being under attack by AI, and we cannot use it for our defense. So I think that's another gap that we missed previously, that we cannot use AI as of now for our a better response. So still we are working with SOC 24/7, where a person is managing every incident and everything. I think AI should be there, and soon we will see that as you mentioned that cybersecurity forum has been formed in State Bank. So soon we see the AI is being allowed to be integrated into systems, obviously with due precaution and care, and keeping the customer PI information secure. So that will be a very, very, very good thing, I think.
Saad, I think universities are going on the same way. एक time था they were working in the silo. Now they are welcoming the industry experts to collaborate with them because उनकी theoretical चीजें silo में हैं और practical life दूसरे end के ऊपर है. Similarly, we are looking that the regulatory institutions हो या state institutions हो, they have to generate collaboration among the industry experts. और उनकी जो voice है, they have to hear the strong voices of the industry. Once the collaboration will be well equipped with industry experts, तो फिर इस तरह की चीजें नहीं होंगी कि अटैक तो हो रहा है एआई के प्लेटफॉर्म से और उसको यूज कर रहा है और उसको रेस्पॉन्ड के लिए आप जो है ना एआई यूज नहीं कर सकते.
I think but one thing I think they have been receptive as well, allowing fintechs to use CSP. That was a major breakthrough that we got from a regulator, and we now most of the EMIs are hosted on AWS, and that's not only ensure the customer protection, if you are using secured APIs, Along with that, the uptime of our app, every single app has gone by 99% availability is there. We don't have any unplanned downtimes. But we urge more, because the landscape, is changing rapidly.
वो कहते हैं ना कि आई थिंक देर है अंधेर नहीं है. आई थिंक इंडस्ट्री इज
हाँ.
मूविंग टुवर्ड बिकॉज इट इज द नीड ऑफ द टाइम. और रेगुलेटरी साइड पे भी जो चेंजेस इस वक्त आ रही हैं, साइबर सिक्योरिटी डिवीजन की डेवलपमेंट और अपने फ्रेमवर्क्स को रिव्यू करना, आई थिंक दे आर सर्विंग द इंडस्ट्री एज वेल टू री एनहांस एंड चेंज देयर enterprise technology governance framework as well.
Well, cybersecurity is the number one job as of now after data engineers.
Yeah.
Data analytics, cybersecurity is the most, even developers, come on the seventh or eighth time, eighth number in terms of job ability.
Yeah.
So the cybersecurity is on top as of now, international market, I see, it's very hard for us to keep an employee in Pakistan, be employed. We are seeing every 6
yeah.
months, he's going to Saudi Arabia, he's going to Europe and everywhere. So cybersecurity is a hot cake as of now.
Yeah, basically data protections and cyber security jobs are for it seems hot jobs for 2025 to 2030. नेक्स्ट 5 years का जो प्लान वर्ल्ड वाइड शेयर हुआ है, उसमें डाटा गवर्नेंस हो, डाटा प्रोटेक्शन हो, साइबर सिक्योरिटी हो, these jobs are on hot side.
Well, thank you very much, both of you gentlemen, for wonderful discussion. And I would request Saad, it's not a pitching session, obviously, but still I want to answer to your AI needs, which you can replace with the MCS services instead, which are still allowed. Let us move forward with the discussion ahead. I want from both of you to please comment on this recent development we just experienced or learned in our lifetimes, whereas it was not being discussed that is going to be in action. We will see in action in our lifetimes. It was being discussed that still there are decades ahead that discovery came into existence, but we just recently learned during the last week that Microsoft recently announced a significant breakthrough in quantum computing, which has the potential to disrupt traditional encryption methods and redefine cybersecurity. Given the increasing reliance on encrypted communications and secure transactions, how do you foresee quantum computing impacting global cybersecurity, particularly in Pakistan? Are organizations in Pakistan aware of and preparing for the transition to post-quantum cryptography? Or do we risk falling behind as we have done in the past in securing our digital infrastructure?
Well, I think, Shakeel, I don't see anyone in the industry talking about this new breakthrough that Microsoft has achieved. And, maybe on the government level, I'm not working in a government, so I wouldn't know that. But in the industry, no one knows about it. Very few people who follow the news know this. And I think the replications are very scary. I'm just assuming like in a time span of 1 or 2, 3, 4 years, all the state documents and encrypted documents will be on, WikiLeaks. If we do not transform ourselves to Qualcomm, it's very scary for me. It's very scary. Just I'm imagining, Pakistan's, even just imagine that we use for top transaction, your EC is no more secure for transactions. Just imagine, and we are way, way, way behind. It's been a week that it has been happened, and no advisory has been issued by any regulator to financial institution. Whereas a week is too much time.
Indeed, it is.
For me, just imagine if someone has, that computer, quantum computing, he's using quantum computing and he's intercepting your transactions and he's decoding it in a blink of a second. Just imagine what.
Yes. And then if you just correlate this with the AI, as you're looking into it, what's going to happen?
Oh my God, disaster. I don't want to think about this.
So, Asad, do you want to say something on this new developments?
I think I would like to share how we are ready. The two incidents occur in Pakistan. One was the totally blackout of the country due to power disruption. So I was listening a media talk of a CEO of a Pakistani software house. तो उससे बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन उसने रेज किया कि पाकिस्तानी मिनिस्टर तो कह रहे हैं कि ये हो जाता है, तो पाकिस्तानी इंडस्ट्री क्यों इतना शोर कर रही है। तो उसने बड़ा एक मासूमाना सा एक सवाल उठाया कि माय क्लाइंट कॉल्ड मी एंड ही आस्क्ड दैट शुड वी कंसीडर आवर कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल अरेंजमेंट विद यू और नॉट, because I am
Hmm.
very concerned about the delivery of my project.
Project.
So
Yes.
it seems how we are ready when we are looking these things very casual. Similarly, the internet disruption in the whole country and how much loss occurred to the Pakistani companies and the freelancers. But our attitude was very casual. We didn't take it serious. While today's the internet is the lifeline of a nation. तो ये बदकिस्मती कह सकते हैं कि एक हमारा पोस्चर ऑफ द नेशन है कि इस वक्त हम बेसिक चीज़ों के लिए भी रेडी नहीं है। तो इतनी एडवांसमेंट इन द इंडस्ट्री, तो आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि हम कितना इसके लिए रेडी होंगे।
Asad, there are always two sides, you need to
या
consider. I fully agree what you have said.
I
People
was
feel,
going to that second side.
जी, जी, जी.
Yeah, unfortunate. But on the other side, the industry and especially the institutions working in Pakistan, they are much concerned to nurture the talent of Pakistan in every era. तो ये एक हमारे लिए एक अच्छी साउंड है, वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग साउंड, कि हम जो भी चेंजेस आ रही हैं इन द ग्लोब इन टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांसमेंट, तो although we are very slow, but we are in a right direction. We are moving towards उड़ान पाकिस्तान एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है, डिजिटलाइजेशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है, और पाकिस्तान का नेशनल सर्ट एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है। तो these are very courteous things. We are going to that right direction, but I think we are slow. Quantum computing not only concerned of Pakistan, but it is a concern of very big organization globally. They are also thinking about it. They are reconsidering their security arrangements and different जो algorithm इस वक्त पोस्ट क्वांटम इंक्रिप्शन के हैं उसकी तरफ जाने के लिए, क्रिस्टल फाइबर हो, क्रिस्टल लिथियम हो, तो दे आर रीथिंकिंग देयर सिक्योरिटी पोस्चर एंड अरेंजमेंट्स। आई थिंक ये जैसे अब आप कहना एक वीक पहले की ब्रेक थ्रू है एंड वी आर डिस्कसिंग हेयर। तो आई थिंक दीज डिस्कशंस हमें रीअलाइन करेंगे टू मोर सिक्योर द सिक्योरिटी अरेंजमेंट्स एंड रीथिंक ऑन दिस थिंग्स।
Absolutely, ये point आपका बिल्कुल valid है कि if we are discussing, it definitely is being discussed in upper circles at a country level, क्योंकि it's a breakthrough which put a lot of things on stake. What I've heard, I've learned by meeting people in Pakistan like your good selves, कि a lot happening in Pakistan, or we all are seeing that a lot going to be in existence during this year and coming year and the years followed. I agree to you what you have said that we are a bit late. Actually, मैंने अपने स्टूडेंट्स को भी ये चीज अभी सेशन के अंदर कोशिश की मैं कन्वे कर सकूं कि हमारा हमारा सिर्फ ये एज बीइंग पाकिस्तानीज नहीं है, ये ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड ये चीज एक एग्जिस्ट करती है इन ह्यूमन नेचर ना, कि what drives you to do something or adopt something which is not into existence or not into a practice. Uh, these standards are made by humans like us with our best practices. Nothing new in them, nothing out of the blue in them. हमारी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को डॉक्यूमेंट किया जाता है, जैसे आपने कहा बड़े ज़हन काम कर रहे होते हैं, देयर इज अ लॉन्ग एक्सरसाइज बीइंग डन ऑन द बैक ऑफ इट। लेकिन अब ह्यूमन नेचर की जो चीज है जो मैं बात करना चाह रहा हूँ, वो ड्राइवर क्या है आपको इन्फोर्स करता है जो कि आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी को अडॉप्ट कर लें या कोई स्टैंडर्ड है उसको सीख लें। सऊदीया की बात करूंगा तो दे हैव लर्नड देयर लेसन फ्रॉम देयर पर्सनल पेन पॉइंट, जो मतलब व्हाट हैपेंड विद देम फ्रॉम इनसाइड थ्रेट, वी ऑल नो अबाउट इट। आई डोंट वांट टू डिस्कस दिस ऑन दिस पब्लिक फोरम, but this is a public knowledge as well, and they have realized that if they want to get themselves secured, they need to implement cybersecurity. They need to establish frameworks. They need to enforce those frameworks. They need to have regulatory bodies in action who should enforce the laws within the country. अब वो पेन पॉइंट्स अनफॉर्चुनेटली यहाँ पे अगर एस्टेब्लिश हो जाते अर्लियर देन देम और
Yeah.
अर्लियर देन वेयर वी आर स्टैंडिंग राइट नाउ, तो वी माइट बी a step ahead from them, or maybe a little bit behind from them, where we are standing right now in comparison to that. तो वो it drives from up ना, वो स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल से नीचे चीजें हैं कि कमिटमेंट उनकी इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो हम सब इस चीज की उम्मीद करते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह ये चीजें अगर स्पीड अप हो जाए, इंस्टेड कि पाकिस्तान का कोई पर्सनल पेन पॉइंट डेवलप हो जाए बिफोर वी consider developing a framework or take necessary measures to make sure that cybersecurity should be understood as a necessity, not luxury.
Yeah.
Before we conclude our session, I would like to ask two students if they want to ask something. अगर students कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हैं हमारे industry leaders, हमारे panelists से, ताकि आपकी कोई क्लैरिफिकेशन आपको रिक्वायर्ड है तो आप डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, जो लोग हैंड ऑन एक्सपीरियंस ले चुके हैं साल का।
Assalamualaikum, sir. How are you, sir? I hope you're doing good.
Good, Vikas. I believe you had a wonderful session today as well as you have in the past.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's wonderful. The thing is this: it's very inspiring how Mr. Saad and Mr. Asad and yourself, you have been discussing the whole scenario of Pakistan as well as the global scenario regarding cyber security, that all the quantum computing issues, all the fears and everything. It's good that we're all discussing that. The next thing that I believe I would like to add to all this discussion, based upon my short experience, I would say, of 5 to 6 years in cybersecurity and the previous one, I would say that what I found is there is a lack of people directed or people-based controls or mechanisms to guide the people not to do certain things. हमने मोबाइल्स के ऊपर भी मैसेजेस दे दिए, या जो कॉल्स के अंदर जो आप कॉल डायल करते हैं साथ आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन आ रही है, कुछ अरसे के लिए वो भी चला लोगों को अवेयर करने के लिए, बट देन इट स्टॉप्ड. There is, I believe, no concept of TVCs या टेलीविजन कमर्शियल्स एंड एवरीथिंग जहाँ पे लोगों को गाइडलाइन दी जा रही हो कि प्लीज़ अपने आप को बचाना सीखो. चाहे क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग आ जाए, चाहे AI आ जाए, whatsoever, making people the strongest army for cybersecurity would definitely improve the whole posture of Pakistan. और बाकी जो laws वगैरह को थोड़ा सा स्टडी करने का मौका मिला जो पाकिस्तान में भी बन रहे हैं, एक्ट वगैरह बन रहे हैं, या साइबर सिक्योरिटी अथॉरिटी भी माशाल्लाह बनने जा रही है, एंड दैट्स गोना बी गुड होपफुली. देयर इज अगेन वही वाली बात आती है कि लोगों की प्राइवेसी के बारे में कंसर्न उसमें मैं ढूंढता रहा, मुझे वो चीज़ नज़र नहीं आई कि मैं एज अ कंज्यूमर जब एक्सेस करने की कोशिश करता हूँ कोई सर्विस, या चाहे मोबाइल सर्विस यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, चाहे बैंकिंग सर्विस यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, चाहे किसी गवर्नमेंट से या प्राइवेट सेक्टर कहीं भी इंटरेक्ट कर रहा हूँ, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जो फाइन प्रिंट होता है वहाँ पर कहीं ना कहीं लिखा हो सकता है, लिखा जो होता है, बल्कि आई हैव सॉर्ट ऑफ सीन दैट एज वेल सम प्लेसेस. आई विल नॉट बी मेंशनिंग that my information is no longer mine, that can be anybody's, that can be used and sold and blah blah blah, third party tak bhi ja sakta hai. Just rights of people are not being addressed. So if you guys can definitely do that somewhere, Mr. Asad, Mr. Saad, Mr. Shakeel, you guys can do that, sir, please zarur karein. और व्हाट डू यू फोरसी, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर अभी ISO 27001 या किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल पॉलिसी या किसी भी रिजीम की पॉलिसी की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इतनी वो दिल से लोग नहीं कर रहे होते, तो व्हाट डू यू फोरसी कि आने वाले वक्त में जो टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट्स हो रही हैं, तो वेयर विल वी स्टैंड इन द नेक्स्ट 5 to 10 years? व्हाट डू यू सी? आई रियली वांट टू नो दैट.
Well, Vikas, you are right about the customer data and information. Some part was right, and the other part is like this. Things has changed. Just like I will name Nadra. Once we, get the, information, agreement with the Nadra, as we have to, verify a customer before onboarding it on digitally, biometric verification is being done, or demographic APIs has been called. So their agreement clearly states that we cannot even store their logs.
Okay, very nice.
So that's where even if we are bound to secure those logs for any fraudulent transaction or whatever it is, they are bound to be deleted once that inquiry has been finished.
Okay.
So your data is being secure. Some actions has been taken very, 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 openly by, and advancement is there. And in 5 years' time, I see a lot of change because as Asad and, Shakeel was telling, Asad mainly focused on, that it's not that, that it's a cost center. Once you are, you have worked 5 years, obviously, how the company works. Company believe in profitability, and anything that causes cost, obviously, there is a red flag that cost is being incurred. No one likes cost. Okay. So, but now after, so many, data we have seen in, print media as so as on TVs and, mainstream media, that this bank's data got leaked, this one's data got leaked. So that is the reason why State Bank has made some arrangements and made some changes. Now what they say, it's good to have 27,001, be a part of it. PCIDDS is compulsory, whereas 27,002 is compulsory for, it's compulsory for the institutions who are out having outsourcing arrangements. As Shakeel was saying me, fine, we are here, you can outsource us. For that, I have to be compliant with 27,002. Okay.
True.
So things are good. And I see that, in 5 years' time, inshallah, we are very near of, accepting cryptocurrency. Okay. We are launching that. So I see a very bright future in 5 years' time, especially in terms of cybersecurity. I see that. Or for all the good or the bad reasons, the firewall that has been, imported from China and has been installed, just on the brighter side, just imagine that we know who is doing what with our country now. So it's a very big step that has been taken on a government level. Okay. It has its benefits as well. So I see a very bright future ahead. And in my experience, like the people in Pakistan and the people like you who are studying cybersecurity as of now, and just imagine you are doing your master's or bachelor's in a university and you are a part of this training.
Actually, sir, I'm doing my PhD right now.
MashaAllah.
So I'm in cybersecurity. बाकी experiences होते हैं, organizations हैं, working part of something. ये था कि सर could not find anything like GDPR in Pakistan. GDPR के some PCIDSS लगा दिया आपने, वो आपने बैंकिंग सेक्टर के लिए कंपल्सरी कर दिया. HIPAA से कंप्लाइंट कोई चीज़ एग्जिस्ट नहीं करी. आपके मेडिकल सर्विसेज के जो सेटअप्स हैं थोड़े से केयरलेस हैं. कुछ इंटरेक्शंस रहता है, कुछ ऑडिट्स वगैरह के अंदर भी कुछ कंप्लायंस एक्टिविटीज़, कुछ अवेयरनेस ट्रेनिंग के सेशंस जो करवा रहा होता हूँ, तो वहाँ पे भी ये सिनेरियो फेस होता है. गैप्स काफ़ी नज़र आते हैं. और स्पेशली हमारा पब्लिक सेक्टर जिस तरह इंटरनेशनली होता है, पब्लिक सेक्टर अगेन हम सारे लोग थोड़े से रिलक्टेंट होते हैं. अच्छा चेंज आ रही है, अच्छा ठीक है, नई पॉलिसी लगानी पड़ेगी, नए मामला करने पड़ेंगे, लोग इससे डिफिकल्टी फील करते हैं. कंप्लेसेंसी लाजमी एग्जिस्ट कर रही होती है. सो अगेन शकील की तरह के जो इनिशिएटिव्स लिए जा रहे हैं, दे आर हाईली अप्रिशिएटेड कि यूथ तक ये नॉलेज आ रही है, लोगों को प्रमोट किया जा रहा है, स्टूडेंट्स को भी कि दे स्टार्ट लाइक इम्प्रूविंग थिंग्स. बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है सर. गॉड ब्लेस मिस्टर साद एंड मिस्टर असद एज वेल कि आप लोग कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं हमारी सबकी लर्निंग में. तो वी कैन डेफिनेटली गेन फ्रॉम यू एज वेल.
वकास, थैंक यू वेरी मच. मैं एक चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा. पीडीपी भी मैंने मेंशन किया था ड्यूरिंग सेशंस. इट्स पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल इज देयर, और it is going to be enforced very soon like GDPR. Asad, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I was going to discuss the same. Things move with the two forces. The one is the pull and the other is the push. The pull force exists on the side of organization and the state, and the push force exists on the side of the users. I think जो वकास ने rightly point किया है, it reflects that the push force expand कर रही है. Users aware हो रहे हैं, और ये अवेयरनेस ही जो है ना स्टेट एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को फोर्स करती है टू इम्प्रूव देयर सिक्योरिटी पोस्चर, टू इंश्योर द प्राइवेसी ऑफ द कस्टमर्स डेटा. GDPR हो, यूरोप बहुत एडवांस है, वहाँ भी आप देखें काफ़ी देर से जो है ना GDPR वहाँ इंश्योर हुआ. बाकी कंट्रीज, इवन इंडिया हमसे काफ़ी आगे है IT के अंदर, वहाँ भी अभी चीज़ें ड्राफ्ट फॉर्म में हैं या बहुत इनिशियल स्टेज के अंदर हैं. तो आई थिंक ग्लोबली कंपनीज एंड द स्टेट्स आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स कस्टमर सेंट्रिक थिंग्स. पाकिस्तान के अंदर भी इनिशिएटिव्स लिए गए हैं, और मैं जो सीन कर रहा हूँ कि विद इन लास्ट 2 to 3 years एंड द नेक्स्ट 5 years थिंग्स विल बी ड्रास्टिकली चेंज. वी हैव टू do our business with the globe. We cannot live in a silo. So once a global economy का part बनते हैं तो आप उससे पीछे नहीं रह सकते ना. ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी भी एक पुल एंड पुश की फोर्स रखती है, तो दे विल पुल यू एज वेल. तो चीज़ें आई थिंक यहाँ पे बहुत जल्दी इंप्रूव होंगी. कुछ चीज़ें इंप्रूव हो गई हैं, स्टेट के एंड पे कुछ हो रही हैं.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Well, Asad, wonderfully explained. I'll say thank you, Saad and Asad. It is wonderful that you both have joined and spared your value time, which we appreciate very much. And as Vikas mentioned, the learning process में आपकी जो valuable discussion है, it will add a huge value to all the students who attended this session. And before I conclude today's session, I thank to all the students who participated in this ISO 27001 2022, ISO 19011, and ISO 27002 standard discussion basing on 4 days. And I believe before we take a leave that you have definitely learned something from the discussion. Thank you very much. Saad, anything before we conclude our today's session?
Well, I would say thank you for this opportunity. And, it's good to see that people like, who are into Vikas is doing his PhD and he is still learning. So this left the spirit up, that people who are achieve so much and still are in training mode. So I think the future is bright. It's good to see such educated people are still learning and still getting educated. So this is lovely.
Oh, yes, indeed. Asad, before we take a leave, do you want to add any closing remarks?
Yeah, I really appreciate and thank you very much. Both the companies and the university, they have courage to arrange such things for the students. I will always be available for you and the university to promote education.
Thank you very much, Asad, and thank you very much once again, everyone. And Assalamu alaikum and good night.
Thank you, Ji. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.